again. Well, we are now back at Nicolai Tesla Airport at Serbia, and there's a sense of deja vu. And we're not supposed to be here, we are supposed to be happily walking along the streets of Lisbon now. There go deja vu. I did show you the shop. Does it look familiar earlier on? Well, the story of why we are back here at this quaint, lovely airport is we missed the flight, and I'm still very sore about it because we should have missed the flight. I would say it's not totally my fault. I'm a just-in-time girl. I don't do things way in advance. I saw the ticket, the e-ticket, the time says the flight was 1:15. I reached the airport at 12, and lo and behold, the flight was departing at 12:30. Thought there was still time. I rushed to the counter and tried to check in, and the lady says, "Oh, it's too late, you can't go in." I said, "It's half an hour more, you know." And so she says, "No, you cannot clear customs." She called the other end at the gate, I suppose, and they said, "No, too late. You cannot just check in and clear customs at the same time." And so she directed us to the counter. I'm sorry to say it's Air Croatia. I love Croatia, but I think, because I'm going to tell you about Air Serbia and my experience of Air Serbia, it was such a stark contrast. And I must say, my experience with Air Serbia was so much better. So, I went to the Air Croatia counter and they told me, "Oh, you know," for a moment my hopes was up because she said, "Oh, you know," when she called the company, they said, "Oh, actually, you can exchange your ticket, but it has to be tomorrow." Well, at least, you know, if it's exchangeable, I don't have to worry about costs. And she told the other chap who was in the same predicament, she said, "Oh, but for you, we cannot exchange. Sorry, we cannot substitute your late flight with another one." And then she told us, the cherry on the cake was she told us after that, "Oh, and it will cost you 1,002 euro. And may I ask what's the difference between what you've just said and what that poor boy had to do? I was so incensed, I said, "No, thank you." So, what I didn't really like about how they handled things is it really even true that I can't even go in? Because subsequently when I rode on the alternative plane to Serbia later on in the evening, and I passed through customs, it was a ghost town. It was winter, it was a weekday, and nobody was there. And I cleared in a matter of minutes. And when I went to the gate, it was just next to the customs, and I don't see why we wouldn't have made it in time. Okay, when we were boarding the plane, sorry, this is a bit of a rant of the video. We went to the tarmac and we walked to the plane. It was just like 10 meters away. I really don't understand why we weren't allowed to go on the Air Croatia plane, to board a plane and then to go to Amsterdam. Yesterday, we were forced instead to book flights anew. I booked one Air Croatia flight to Zagreb, and from Zagreb I booked an Air Serbia flight because the price was good. Air Serbia flight all the way to Lisbon. And the sense of injustice I feel is compounded by the fact that Air Serbia has always informed me of any changes in schedules. Even after I booked the flight, the replacement flight from Zagreb to Lisbon, I received a message on my SMS saying that, reminding me that I booked a flight and the flight was for 9:45 the next day, which is today. It wasn't any information about change in schedule, it was just a reminder. I didn't get anything from, I think it was KLM, in the lines of Air Croatia, I guess. So I was kind of upset and I was kind of disappointed with Air Croatia, but delighted with Air Serbia. Long and short of it is that there's deja vu. We're back in this airport, Nicolai Tesla Airport, and I'm taking a stroll and letting you see whatever I see. And I was showing off my beret. I went to the toilet and I saw this lady with a grey beret what I like about traveling is the fact that we can show off our hats. And I have worn a white furry hat, and I've worn this beret. I've worn a blue furry hat because it's winter. I've also worn a pink straw hat. So I love the fact that when we travel, we can show off our hats. Nobody wears hats in Singapore. Maybe caps, not hats. Hats are so pretty. So I relish the opportunity to actually wear my hats once a year on my travels. And this is a time occasion to show off my collection of hats. Last year I bought one from Greece, and it was said to be very Russian. I didn't bring it along, but I did bring my pink beret, and so here you are. So it's already 5 minutes, but I guess I will just ramble along. I want to talk actually about one thing, but maybe two people, maybe three, and that thing would be the independent media on YouTube and Rumble. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and Rumble, content created by brilliant, clever, eloquent, loquacious speakers. I'm gonna travel later, which is not working, but it's fine. Okay, so I want to talk about Alexander Mercurius. I mentioned yesterday that he and I have a lot in common. He's my favorite, one of my favorite YouTubers and independent journalist. He's brilliant. I said that we had a lot in common, but we also have a lot of dissimilarities, one of which is that he's all brains. He can remember so many things, he's so learned, he reads so many books. So I admire him greatly. But what I'm really glad to say is that we share the same values. So at the gates, better make my way back to my boy on my left on his own, near the Computerland kiosk. So Alexander Mercurius from the Duran, the channel The Duran. It's a geopolitical news channel. He's brilliant. He's all brains. I need to say that if you check on internet, you'll see that there's news about him, not very pleasant news about him, information about him, and I guess he had some mental health issues earlier on. But funnily enough, another of my favorite podcaster, Russell Brand, also had a checkered history, but I love him too. So I guess that's their past. Everybody has a past, and Alexander Mercurius is brilliant. I need to add, there's a huge difference between us two, and that is in our mental capacity. His is way beyond mine. He knows so much. He's so eloquent. I just want to say, in Chinese, he will be my shifu, somebody I respect a lot, from whom I can learn so much. And that's why I tune to him every day. His videos are generally 1 hour and 20 minutes or so, but every word is well worth listening to. And he introduces you, of course, to other sources of news that are fantastic. He has been doing a lot of videos with Glenn Deason, professor in a university in Amsterdam. I listen to them a lot too. He also pairs up with this lady whose channel is Small Town Voice. She's a Chinese lady. So my favorite things would be YouTube videos now, and all the collaborations between the brilliant content creators who will give us an alternative source of news. How do I know they're real? Well, you just got to listen and watch them, because even though you don't see them physically, you can see the expression. It's just like looking at traditional news channels, but now it's on social media platform. I would say Alexander Mercurius from the Duran, thumbs up all the way. And I admire him a lot. It's my shifu, and he's such a sweet person, and I enjoy all his collaborations with the different content creators, Small Town Boys, Glenn Deason, and sometimes he gets invited to other channels as well. And in Duran also, in the Duran, they also invite a lot of speakers, eminent ones, John Mearsheimer, Jeffrey Sachs, professors both. So it's a brilliant channel, the Duran, my favorite channel, one of my favorite channel. I cannot do without Vegetarian for a single day. Do check them out. The other person I'd like to talk about is Russell Brand, because I just watched the clip he made. And as I say, it seems that many of the content creators I watch, they have kind of like a colourful past. And Russell Brand obviously has one everybody knows. He's a celebrity, everybody knows of his addiction, drug addiction, and also sex addiction. He was unfortunately bullied, I would say, by the big players in the media. His past splashed because the front pages of news in England, all to see his colourful past. I prayed for him, all of us prayed for him that he would survive the ordeal he did. Well, there's a little bit of purgatory on earth for him, but he has mentioned before that that's his past. He's willing to accept it, acknowledge it's wrong. And I love Russell Brand because of his honesty for search for God. And whatever he says just resonates with me deeply. Russell Brand and his ability, his eloquence, his loquaciousness, his sparkling wit, they're all very attractive. Do check out Russell Brand. He's just a beautiful person, beautiful soul. Lately, he was talking about the sanctity of the sexual act. It was beautiful, it was totally in line with Catholic teachings. And I think the video I saw earlier on, he mentioned about the moment when he went on stage and he was struck as if by a bolt from heaven by his ability, by his talent in acting. And he said that this is the moment when he felt affirmed. It's as if God was saying to him, this is my beloved son, in whom I delighted. Wow, that was totally powerful. I think God was with Russell Brand all the way, and he's called his prodigal son back to him. And I'm just touched, just thinking about his life. So, I think I'm quite loquacious today, so many things to talk about. I think this is my favorite airport, you could say that. That's another nice, non-branded, very unique shop. A shop filled with character that has the stamp of individuality, the stamp of Serbia on it. It's called Maruska, I suppose. Beautiful. So I guess there's a reason why I'm here. I had a really pleasant 6 hours or so. The layover is 7 hours. We have passed the greater bulk of it. We got to wait a couple of more hours before we board our plane to Lisbon for our flight. It went by in a flash. So, my favorite things, I mentioned Russell Brand, Alexander McLeod, and one of my favorite airport, it is the Nicolai Tesla Airport in Serbia, and also my favorite airlines, Serbia, one of my favorite airlines, for sure. The ride was pleasant, and everything was consistently good. Service was consistently good. And so I leave you now. Ciao for now. Have a great week ahead. Ciao.